I went camping with my friends. Something is really wrong. 3 years ago, my friends and I decided we would all go on a fun camping trip for the weekend. Like most friend groups, we had a group chat where we discussed plans and other random topics. Typically, our plans were made last minute. Somehow, planning ahead never worked out for any of us. Ironically, the more spontaneous the plan, the more likely it was to actually happen. So you can imagine my surprise when we managed to plan a camping trip in advance and it actually worked out. All of our parents said yes and no one had any games or school commitments to worry about. We scheduled the trip for a Friday evening, planning to spend the whole weekend outdoors. When Friday finally came, we were all excited. Some of my friends brought tents and fire starting gear while others packed safety equipment, just in case. The only downside? We had to hike a trail to reach the campsite. I had work that night, so I was the last one to start the hike. I got off at 8:30 p.m. and made it to the trailhead by 8:50. The hike would take an hour at most. Keep in mind, I lived in Colorado, so wildlife was always something I had to watch out for. But little did I know, wildlife would end up being the least of my concerns. As I started along the trail, my mind began to race. I'd always been someone who overthought everything. My thoughts spiraled. What if a bear comes out and eats me? What if my blood sugar drops and we're out of snacks? What if someone is stalking me from behind the trees? Eventually, those thoughts faded, and I found myself more focused on the music playing through my headphones. As I kept walking, I realized my blood sugar was actually starting to drop. I stopped for a quick snack break and sat down to rest. I've been a type 1 diabetic since birth, ever since I was 18 months old. When my pancreas decided to retire early, my life has revolved around managing sugar intake. All that really did was turn me into a sneaky kid who constantly found ways to sneak sweets. Sometimes I wonder what it would be like to be normal. But then again, this is my normal. I don't have a single memory of life without diabetes. If anything, not having it would feel abnormal to me. Maybe I wouldn't be the punching bag of the group if I didn't have it. Maybe my mom wouldn't carry so much guilt over it. Either way, there's not much I can do. It's just the shitty hand I was dealt. Once my blood sugar was back at a reasonable level, I stood up and continued down the trail. But after a few minutes, I stopped. My surroundings felt off, uncomfortably unfamiliar. I looked at the map I was using and realized I'd taken a wrong turn. I had been walking in the wrong direction for nearly the entire hour this hike was supposed to take. A chill crept through me. It felt like freezing water was being pumped through my veins. My mouth went dry and my heart pounded so hard I could feel it in my head. Fuck. Okay, this isn't a big deal, I muttered to myself, trying to stay calm. I just walked back until I reached the point where I went off course, then take the right path. But deep down I was panicking and I didn't even know why. It wasn't just that I was lost. Something about that one wrong turn felt wrong in a way I couldn't explain. Like it had set something in motion. As I retraced my steps, a strange paranoia crept over me. I started walking more quietly. I pulled out my headphones and tried to suppress every sound I made, moving quickly but silently, like something might be listening. As I started walking, I began to notice something strange. Why are there two sets of footsteps? I wasn't imagining it. I could clearly hear it. It wasn't subtle. Every time I took a step, something else did too. But it wasn't just